The palace walls are shaking, the whispers are getting louder, and one explosive file has reportedly thrown the royal family into a storm nobody can ignore. What began as private tension is now being talked about like a full-scale crisis. Reports are swirling that Prince William came face-to-face with a secret denial report, and whatever he saw inside allegedly changed everything. Meghan Markle is said to have been left stunned, speechless, blindsided by the fallout, and when someone known for always having a response suddenly goes quiet, people notice. That silence became the loudest sound of all.
They're legally covering their backs. There's just too many unknowns. And then, of course, we have that the doctor that allegedly delivered Lily quit her practice 2 weeks after giving birth to Lily, or delivering Lily. That sentence there is missing.
Prince William doubles down. According to multiple sources, it's now a matter of when, not if, he strips Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their royal titles.
Harry and Meghan have never provided any evidence for that highly incendiary claim. It's not like they haven't had the chance to. After all, they pumped out 6 hours of self-indulgent bilge on Netflix, trashing Britain and the press for its racism.
At first, many thought this was just another round of royal gossip, another headline, another rumor, but then came the deeper claims. This report was not some random document passed around in tabloids. It was allegedly delivered through serious channels, carrying claims tied to family lineage, identity, and official standing. Suddenly, this was no longer about personality clashes or interviews. This was about bloodlines, protocol, and power. The kind of subjects that make Buckingham Palace move in silence and act behind closed doors. Then came the moment that reportedly sent shockwaves through royal circles. Buckingham Palace released a polished but ice-cold announcement. Calm words, brutal meaning. It was said that Prince William, with support from the Crown and the Privy Council, rejected a private DNR report sent over by Prince Harry's side. The purpose of that file? Allegedly to settle long-running questions and reinforce Archie's place in royal records. But instead of peace, it triggered war. What was meant to close a chapter may have ripped the book open.
Fascinating reporting coming from News Nation, the US news channel, and its head of entertainment, Paula Frolic, who reveals Prince William to change the monarchy forever.
Princess Lilibet Diana had been christened. Why would they use a title for their children that represents an institution they loathe so much?
With either Archie or Lily, and it needs to happen. They need to prove that those children, Meghan and Harry, are not entitled to privacy in this matter. And their privacy is trumped by our right to know that no bastard is going to sit on the throne of this country.
And insiders say William did not simply say no. He made a statement without shouting. He reportedly insisted that no private overseas paperwork would be enough when royal lineage is involved. Translation? If it concerns the monarchy, palace-approved verification must happen under official authority. That move was seen by many as more than policy. It looked like control, a line drawn in gold across the floor. Step over it and consequences follow. What makes this story even more explosive is how personal matters allegedly transformed into institutional warfare. Suddenly, the focus was not gossip but legacy, not rumors but records, not emotions but succession. Harry's legal team reportedly sent a detailed dossier packed with documents meant to silence every doubt. There were claims of lab results, sworn statements, medical paperwork, and supporting notes. Every page, according to reports, was designed to look final, convincing, untouchable. But palace insiders claim instead of ending questions, it created new ones.
Meghan Markle gave birth to Lily because this is what's called plausible deniability. They want to be able to say, hey, we never claimed that she was our daughter in that announcement. They're legally covering their backs. There's just too many unknowns. And then, of course, we have that the doctor that allegedly delivered Lily quit her practice 2 weeks after giving birth to Lily, or delivering Lily. That sentence there is missing. That is a vital sentence that Meghan Markle chose not to put in an official statement because she knows she would get into a lot of legal trouble and she needed plausible deniability.
Now they want to give their kids the titles of prince and princess, even though they don't live anywhere near the royal family. They don't do any duties. They do nothing to deserve it. They live in a mansion in Montecito in California and use the their own royal title to make loads of money.
Harry and Meghan playing games that resulted in people unnecessarily questioning things. Again, every toxicity thing is result of them.
And this is where the tension turned icy. When the file allegedly reached William, his reaction was described as calm, sharp, and immediate. Advisors were reportedly summoned. Legal minds entered the room. Protocol experts began reviewing every page. Then talks of reinstatement were paused. Why? Alleged inconsistencies. That single word now hangs over the entire drama like smoke in a locked room. What inconsistencies? How serious were they? Why has nobody fully explained them? Those questions are fueling global curiosity by the hour. Reports also claim palace reviewers look closely at timelines, photographs, and missing formal procedures. The suggestion that long-standing royal traditions may not have been followed instantly raised eyebrows. For years, certain issues were dismissed as internet chatter. But now, according to whispers, those same issues were being studied seriously behind palace doors. That shift changed everything. Once the institution starts asking questions, the world starts asking louder ones.
Fewer titles mean there is less of a chance for a degenerate like Prince Andrew, now called Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, to slip through. Which means, as I previously reported, Harry and Meghan will lose their titles, as well as Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie.
She was never pregnant at all. Instead, the videos embolden conspiracy theorists. They're calling it Megspiracy, and the pair are being subjected to yet more merciless ridicule.
That it just really kind of boggles the mind. I mean, just for titles, for example. So when Archie was first born, they said they didn't want him to have a title. He was going to be a private citizen. I was like, bravo, you understand. He's not going to be a working member of the royal family. He is going to have to live a normal life, get a normal job. That is fantastic. And then it came out later in the Oprah Winfrey interview. Well, they denied him a title and security because he is a mixed race child. And then it was kind of like...
Then came another twist that sent royal watchers into a frenzy. Claims surfaced that internal reviewers used visual analysis tools to examine public images connected to the timeline. No official confirmation, just reports. But even the rumor of that kind of scrutiny made this feel less like family tension and more like a full internal investigation. And once people heard that, speculation exploded. What else were they reviewing? How deep did this go? There were also whispers about missing or altered paperwork, updated records, and unusual administrative moves that some found suspicious. On their own, each detail may seem small, but together, they formed a pattern people could not stop talking about. And patterns are dangerous in royal scandals because they invite one terrifying word: motive. Was this confusion, coincidence, or something more calculated? Nobody publicly says it. Everyone privately wonders it. Meanwhile, Meghan's reported silence became a headline in itself. Usually poised, usually prepared, usually ready with a narrative, she was said to be stunned by how far this had gone. Some insiders claim she believed the private file would settle matters once and for all. Instead, it may have triggered the biggest credibility battle yet. Imagine expecting closure and getting a royal barricade instead. Imagine sending proof and receiving scrutiny. Prince Harry, according to reports, was left caught in the center again, between wife and family, between emotion and institution, between personal truth and royal procedure. That is the tragedy many see unfolding beneath the scandal. Two brothers already distant now standing on opposite sides of a controversy with global attention locked on them. One pushing recognition, one demanding verification, neither willing to blink. And palace insiders claim this may only be the beginning. There are whispers of deeper reviews, future decisions, and statements being quietly prepared. Some believe William is positioning himself as the guardian of royal standards. Others say Meghan may answer publicly in dramatic fashion. If both sides speak, this conflict could erupt into something even larger than before. Because once truth becomes a battlefield, nobody walks away untouched. Outside the palace, the public is split down the middle. Some see Meghan as unfairly targeted. Others see William as defending the monarchy from chaos. Harry remains the emotional center of the storm, while King Charles is said to be watching carefully as pressure builds from every side. Cameras wait, commentators circle, supporters rage, critics celebrate, and still, the most important answers remain hidden behind gates and curtains. What was really inside that secret D9 report? Why did it provoke such a cold response? And why does it feel like everyone knows something except the public? Because if this story has proven anything, it is that silence inside royal walls is never empty. It is usually where the next explosion begins. The tension did not cool after that rejection. It intensified. Behind palace gates, insiders claimed conversations became sharper, colder, and far more urgent. What had started as one disputed report was now turning into a much wider crisis about trust itself. Because once a royal institution questions documents tied to lineage, the issue stops being personal and becomes historical. And that is where panic reportedly began to spread. Meghan Markle was said to be furious in private, stunned that something expected to restore certainty had instead placed everything under a brighter and harsher spotlight. Sources claim Prince William did not retreat after making his first move. He reportedly doubled down, pushing for a complete internal review of every claim, every timeline, every supporting detail connected to the dossier. To many observers, this looked like more than caution. It looked like a future king showing exactly how he intends to rule, firm, procedural, and unmoved by pressure. That image alone sent shockwaves through royal watchers. The soft-spoken prince many once underestimated was now being described as a man willing to make brutal decisions if he believed the crown required it. At the same time, Harry was reportedly left in an agonizing position. Those close to the drama say he felt this was not just a rejection of paperwork, but a rejection of his children, his family, and his attempt to heal old wounds. Imagine believing you are offering proof and receiving suspicion instead. Imagine trying to reopen a door only to hear bolts slide shut from the other side. That emotional layer is what makes this saga feel less like politics and more like tragedy wrapped in privilege. Meanwhile, whispers spread that senior royals were quietly choosing sides. Some were said to fully support William's hardline, believing the monarchy cannot survive if standards appear flexible. Others reportedly feared the optics of challenging Harry and Meghan so directly, especially in an age where public sympathy can shift overnight. Every silence, every delayed comment, every carefully staged appearance suddenly looked meaningful. In royal crises, absence often speaks louder than speeches. Then came the financial angle, and that changed the mood again. Claims emerged that family trust and inheritance matters connected to the Sussex children could be placed on hold until the wider review was resolved. If true, that would mean the battle was no longer symbolic. It was practical. Real consequences, real pressure, real leverage. Critics called it cold. Supporters called it responsible. Either way, it suggested the palace was prepared to use every lawful mechanism available while questions remained unanswered. And Meghan, according to circulating reports, was not planning to remain silent forever. There was talk of a personal on-camera response being prepared behind the scenes, one that would frame the entire controversy as harassment, control, and institutional fear. If that happens, it could ignite a second war entirely, the war of public emotion. Because facts may matter inside palace rooms, but stories move the outside world. Meghan has long understood that power. William reportedly understands it too, which means both sides may be preparing very different weapons. Insiders also claim Prince William has been working on his own statement, quieter in style but heavy in message. Duty over drama, institution over impulse, process over personality. Those who have heard whispers of the draft say it presents him as a reluctant enforcer, a man not acting from malice but obligation. Whether people believe that is another matter entirely. But if he delivers those words publicly, it may mark the clearest moment yet of William stepping into the authority once associated with the throne itself. Then, just when it seemed the story could not get stranger, fresh rumors surfaced of a private jet linked to California and London, carrying passengers whose identities were not fully clear in public chatter. That was enough to send media crews into overdrive. Was Harry returning? Were the children involved? Was this a reconciliation attempt, a strategic move, or a dramatic gesture timed before any final decision? No confirmation, only frenzy. And frenzy is often more powerful than fact in stories like this. Outside the palace, cameras gathered. Commentators screamed predictions. Social media split into warring camps. One side painted Meghan as a mother under siege. The other praised William as a protector of royal credibility. Harry stood in the center like a man torn in half by two worlds. Even King Charles, though publicly restrained, was rumored to be watching closely as events threatened to define not only William's future, but the stability of the monarchy itself. And that may be the deepest truth hidden inside all this noise. This was never only about a report, never only about one family dispute. It became a test of whether the House of Windsor can survive modern scandal without fracturing further. Can tradition hold when challenged by celebrity, media warfare, global politics, and private grievances made public? Can blood relations survive when trust has already been drained away? Those are the questions haunting every corridor. If the final outcome favors Harry's side, many will call it a historic shift, proof that the monarchy had to adapt. If it favors William's stance, others will will call it a ruthless defense of ancient rules. Either way, someone loses. Either way, resentment deepens. Either way, scars remain. Because some battles do not end when a verdict arrives. They simply move into memory where they can last for generations. And as the world waits for the next statement, the next leak, the next icy appearance on palace steps, one thing feels impossible to ignore. Meghan Markle may have been left speechless for a moment, but moments pass, voices return, and when the next response comes, it could shake the monarchy harder than the report ever did.